Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your favorite leather craftsman, the Leather Cowboy, right here, Premier Leather Crafters in the dirty, dirty. You guys already know where I reside and where I lay my head, and hey, ain't no place like the South. Everybody want to be down like the South. But hey, come on in. Let me show you guys what's about to happen. Again, I'm doing double duty. I'm cheating you guys. I'm watching TV. And I shouldn't be, but I did stop. I did stop to lay out this tutorial video. But I want to tell you something, guys. Just real quick before we even get started in there, because today it's not gonna take long with this quick tutorial video. It's more informational and how it's going to make work easier for you. But I have been cheating on and off today watching TV, and I got caught up in the Tubi. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Tubi, Tubi, Tubi is like the Wish app of TV. And if you're not familiar with the Wish app, go ahead and go to Amazon and buy it. Don't fool with the Wish app just because it's cheap. You get what you pay for. I mean, some of these shows on Tubi, man, I can act better than they can. Seriously. And anytime you can hear the director say action, and they record that and put that into the show, that lets you know just how terrible Tubi is. But on the other side, you do come across some good shows that just lock you in, like this one that I'm watching now, the Family Business. This is so horribly written. I've already figured out the entire script of the season and know how it's going to end. That says how badly it's written, but it's enough to make me keep watching it and I can't stop. So I've been binge watching since Friday, which in law, I supposed to done this video Friday, but I'm going to make sure today that I get it done today. So you guys have been following me long enough to know that I have been working on this leather guitar strap for the band Free Beer. Now, Free Beer is going to be performing this weekend. Let me show you guys, because it's already, the tooling work has already been done. It's already been carved and antiqued. The backgrounding has been antiqued already, and the logo has been hand painted. This is all hand done, ladies and gentlemen. So, Free Beer is going to be performing this weekend at this big event called Rancho Palooza. If you guys have never heard of it, and you're in Northwest Florida, stop in. It's going to be a great, great event. They put this on every year, Veterans Day weekend for the vets. So, originally, this guitar strap was going to be done for one of the musicians or one of the guitarists in the band. But I think by it being a Veterans Day event, I'm going to try to talk the band's manager into auctioning this off. So my little contribution toward the Wounded War, whatever cause, the Wounded Warrior Project or the vets, the VA, whatever project the proceeds from the concert goes toward, I think that this is going to be my little contribution. Being a vet myself, I'm not going to say being a veteran, but being prior enlisted myself, this is going to be my contribution to that, and we're going to go ahead and put this in the auction block off. Now, but today's video, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be inlaying the lamb's wool inside of the interior part of the strap. So when the guitarist is playing, now generally and normally, guitar straps do not come with any kind of padding, but when you're asking the price that we as leather crafters ask, you want to put in that value. And that's just things that you can do to increase your sales. I don't sell products, I sell value. Because they can get this done from anyone who has a set of leather stamping tools or knows the basics about leather stamping. But I go that extra bit, that extra mile, and added value. So when they ask how much does that cost, or when we auction this off, if the band manager goes for it, when we auction this off, then we can say it has a $600 $700 value. And then this is going to be showcased right there on the stage where the band is playing. And then when they see that it has the shoulder padding in there, you know, just all added value. Then it's all hand painted, hand dyed, hand antique, hand carved, hand stamped, hand tooled. When you start talking all of this hand stuff, now you're adding value to your projects. Again, small projects that can create a lot of money, but increase the value. So I'm going to get off that soapbox real quick, but I'm going to show you guys how a very inexpensive way that you want to lay in your lamb's wool inside of that. Now you guys can see that this completely is wider than the strap. So to keep from doing a lot of cutting and cutting and cutting. Now to some people, this is going, it's going to make a bigger mess, but it's going to make it it's going to make the presentation of the product a lot better. And this is what I'm going to tell you. Anytime you're working with lamb's wool and putting padding in to reduce a lot of extra leather use, you guys can invest in a cheap pair. Now this pair of clippers is called Conair. You can get these from Dollar General for like $14.99 a pair. Very cheap clippers. Now, if you have a pair of clippers or a pair of beard trimmers, something like that, dog trimmers do the same thing. Basically, it's the same setup as people who make rugs. You can just get a pair of clippers. And what I'm going to do, instead of doing a lot of cutting, I'm going to do a taper, because if you can see the backside of this lamb's wool here, you got all of this overhang. So from here, can the light catch it? Yeah. All right. From here to here is just a lot of extra wool. So I could come back with the scissors and snip, 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 and snip, 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 snip. But we're going to speed through this by putting the clippers on. So you guys, I'm going to angle the camera down so you guys can see me do this. And if you can't, you pretty much get the gist and the idea. But I think I can angle this down a little bit to where you can see what I'm going to be doing. Now, I've already got my, it pulled to the side, and I have my clippers pushed all the way to the front. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to hold this and trim that lamb's wool back. Now, first I'm going to shape it up and I'm just creating a wall where the wool is straight up from where the original backing of that is. And we're just running these clippers right down there so you guys can see that it is cutting. And we're just going to wall this up to where we can make a nice straight. You see it's cutting. Now, you can do the same thing with scissors if you want to just snip, 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 snip. But you're still going to have to do this to make that lamb's wool taper out and get it to where it's walled up straight. Some people might have just a better hand at with scissors. I just didn't want to be snipping the whole time. Now, once you get this walled up, especially for those of you who make dog harnesses, you guys have seen some of my other videos where I did the dog harness and we put the lamb's wool as a padding on the inside of the dog harness. You can use these trimmers or clippers the very same way. Now, we're just going to turn this around and you guys can see that. You see how much that pulled back up, and we still got a little bit to go, but I'm going to show you how to make that even better. I'm going to show you how we're going to clean this up. Because especially when you're inlaying or this is going to be under a lining, what will make that extra usage of leather is you're going to have to compensate and wrap that over that wall. So what I'm going to tell you guys to do is to take your clippers and kind of put them at a 45. You're going to put it at a 45, and then we're just going to taper down the side of this lamb wool. And that's what's going to make it have that drop off, so your leather will make it all the way to the edge of whatever piece you're working on. That's why I said just be very careful with it. And you just want to take it off in chunks. Don't try to gouge it or go too deep. You just want to make a nice, clean 45 pull. And I mean, now if you guys have ever cut your own hair, you know already what you have to do with the clippers to make it have that nice, clean edge. And this is all you have to do, is to make that nice, clean taper. And then it's going to give that nice drop off. So when I put my lining over the top of this, now it will make it all the way to the edge of that guitar strap. And you can just keep going down with it. Keep going down with it. Now, if you're unsure or uncertain about using the clippers without the about the depth, each pair of clippers come with a guard that you can put on there. They both come with a guard, so you'll know exactly how much wool you need to trim off. And then you can always go up with it just to wall that off. It's just like cutting hair, ladies and gentlemen, just like cutting hair. Just that easy. Nothing hard, nothing major. And then we're just going to turn that around, and we're going to do the same exact side. Then I'm going to do this side and get it all nice and evened up. And then I'll show you guys exactly what we was trying to achieve. First, I'm walling it up. I pull my lamb's wool all the way to the edge of my cutting board. And now I'm just going to angle it at a 45 and come right down the side of that. And you can see it cutting, ladies and gentlemen, because it's going to start rolling right there right in front of your eyes. So you will see how deep you are with this angle cut. And you can keep going down just to get the desired look that you want to have. I'm just cleaning it up right now. Just cleaning it up. Even if you're working on a project where your lamb's wool is making your project too thick or too fluffy, you can take your clippers and your guards and knock some of it off the top if you so choose. Just depend on whatever project you're working on. This just so happened to be a guitar strap, so I want to leave the padding, especially if they're playing a long time. I want to leave them with some padding. So if they're guitars, they don't have to be, it can be a church, your church band, or whoever the guitarist is at your local church. And then just have him, after you take your measurements and stuff like that, you can have that all done. Let me show you guys with the progress so far so you can get an idea. You see that? Well, we got to take a little bit more off that end. I wish you guys can see that taper though. That's a nice looking taper. The video might not be doing it any justice, but you guys can see a nice taper. And we're just going to make this so when I come back with my the lining is going to have a nice drop off to the edge of the guitar strap. And then I'll be able to contact cement along the edges of that lining, and then I can do my chisel punches, and then I can stitch it. So after it's all complete and said and done, I have a nice pad for the shoulder strap. I have a nice padding for the shoulder strap. So when he plays, he can play a long time. This is the Leather Cowboy right here, Premier Leather Crafters in the Dirty Dirty. I'm going to get back to work and try to sneak a couple of more peeks of the family business. And they're not even paying me. Tubi is not even paying me to do this drop for them. But if you guys don't have anything else to do and you want to binge watch a good series, check out the family business, man. I'm telling you, it's horribly made, but it will lock you in to watching it. I'll see you guys on the other side. Peace.